And of course, no dog story is complete without the rite of passage of the dog almost dying. One time, Brody and Jen were cleaning out a relative's storage unit when they heard Molly chewing on something.
It's a brick of rat poison!
Oh my God!
They rushed her to the vet, and the vet gave her eye drops to make her vomit the poison, because apparently that's a thing. I don't know anything about how any of that works, but they saved her, and she's okay. Woohoo! Molly, I really thought this went without saying, but please don't eat poop or rat poison. My dad is known for picking up a new hobby, getting super into it, then dropping it entirely, rinse and repeat. Baking sourdough, beekeeping, smoking meats, astronomy. One that stood out though was when he wanted to raise a bonsai tree. He was super excited about it, but in classic dad fashion, lost interest and the bonsai tree withered. Then he would try to get back into it and water it and take care of it, but then forget again. This kept happening until eventually the bonsai tree was clearly dead. Despite this, Dad kept living in denial and saying it would come back to life, and insisting that giving water to a tree corpse would fix it. Dad, it's time to let him go.
He's just a little thirsty. He'll be fine.
Eventually, Dad was forced to admit defeat and throw the tree away. But I wanted to make him feel better, so I bought him the Lego bonsai tree set as a gift. Here, Dad, it's a pretty bonsai tree that you can't kill. But a few months later, I came home to visit and discovered that it had fallen off his desk and broken into a million pieces. This bonsai tree required no soil, no water, and no maintenance. And you still couldn't handle it. How are you ever allowed to raise children? Another thing that amazes me about my mom is that whenever we had to move, she would plan these amazing cross-country road trips and make a vacation of it. We saw Mount Rushmore, Yellowstone, the Liberty Bell, Four Corners, Redwood National Parks, and all kinds of fun stuff. I can't imagine planning a big trip like that while raising 5 kids, teaching them how to read and do math, feeding them, and keeping them from fighting. And to make things worse, she didn't even have GPS! She had to print out directions from MapQuest and just pray that she wouldn't make a wrong turn and get lost. I could not have survived that. If there isn't a blue line showing me exactly where I need to go, I simply won't make it to my destination. As I studied, I even found a forbidden shortcut. On the Maka Woohoo course, if you use a mushroom to boost off the track at the right angle, you'll land in an out-of-bounds area that corresponds to a much later part of the map. So, when Lakitu saves you, he thinks you're further along than you really were, so he puts you there, allowing you to skip ahead of everyone else. The first time I pulled this trick on my brothers was hilarious.
Haha, eat my dust, losers.
Little did Brody know, history was about to change.
One time when I was like 3, I was making a crash scene with my trains, and I accidentally crashed them a bit too hard, and Thomas got a little bit of his paint chipped off. And this bothered me. He was no longer perfect. So what did I do? I flushed him down the toilet, of course. A while later, my parents realized that the toilet was clogged. My parents called a plumber, and after hours of trying, the plumber angrily said, "Ugh, there's nothing I can do. I've never encountered a toilet I can't unclog. You're gonna need to buy a new toilet." So they let the plumber smash the toilet open to see what had clogged it. It was a big wad of toilet paper, and at the center was my Thomas train. So we got a new toilet, and I got a new Thomas.
Hi, I'm Bryson, and today I'm finally gonna fulfill a promise I made 6 years ago.
Also, my eyes are kind of messed up. I'll talk about it in a future video. But anyways.
Okay, that's enough of that. Now, I know what you must be thinking.
Why did it take you 6 years to finally talk about this?
And to that I say, I don't know, get off my case, dude. You're not my dad. Our story begins 23 years ago. My mom was pregnant, and she, my dad, and all my siblings were hoping for a girl, since she had had 2 boys in a row. Then, much to everyone's disappointment, she had another boy. Me! Little did they know, the disappointments were just getting started. Before I could even speak, my parents noticed some issues.
Why do his eyes look like that?
My left eye would drift. Sometimes I'd be wall-eyed, and sometimes I'd be cross-eyed. I think this baby is a dud. Send it back and get a new one. There's even a family photo of me wearing Mr. Potato Head glasses.
I think he's trying to tell us something.
In fact, there are a lot of goofy pictures of little me. Look at that. Not a thought behind those eyes. I think part of the reason that my left eye is lazy is that since I have blue eyes, I'm more sensitive to sunlight. And as a kid, I developed a nasty habit of going outside and closing my left eye to avoid the sun. I should have just used sunglasses, but my critical thinking skills hadn't developed yet. Still waiting on that, actually. Some people have noticed my lazy eye before because it wanders when I zone out. And being the goofy little airhead that I am, I zone out a lot. My eyes unfocus and I begin to imagine whatever my silly brain can come up with. A shark with legs, a button that magically kills every mosquito, a Lego spaceship, food I want to eat, and sometimes I think about absolutely nothing at all. Then I zone back into reality only to realize that I've been staring intensely into a stranger's eyes and making them very uncomfortable. Or potentially making them fall in love with me as they get lost in my dreamy blue eyes that look like the sea after a storm. That's never happened before, but a guy can dream.
Wait, do you have any gum? What'd you say? Sorry. I'm all eyes. I mean ears.
A while back, my sister was driving me, my little brother, and my nephews to a zoo. And Brenner said, "Can I sit in the middle seat? I'm a little car sick." No. Oh my gosh! Oh! I felt like such a jerk. I didn't know it was that serious. I thought he was just marginally uncomfortable, not moments from vomiting. I apologized to Brenner, but also said, "You did not properly communicate the severity of the situation." Eventually, we graduated from Mario Kart DS to Mario Kart Wii. This was the one that I've played the least because, as we already established, I don't understand motion controls. Also, apparently using a bike is the only viable option because doing a wheelie is just free acceleration, so that's pretty dumb. It didn't help me develop my skills at all, but it definitely added some great tracks, and using the plastic Wiimote was real fun as a kid. Look, Mom, I'm driving!
He's never getting his license.
Then I entered a training grounds worthy of my potential. Mario Kart 7. They added kart customization, underwater sections, gliders, and a bunch of amazing courses. And a much better drifting system. This was definitely the best Mario Kart at the time. I learned the strategies, I learned the shortcuts, and I began to step into my power. I started to be a much bigger challenge for my brothers, and Brody and Brayden could feel the reign of terror slipping away as I won more and more.
The Egyptians believed the most significant thing you could do in your life was die.
Hi, I'm Bryson, and my most popular video is about how I look young. But that was 3 years ago. A lot has happened since then, and let me tell you, I still look young. The doctor said it's because of my genes, but I don't know what my pants have to do with any of this. So today, we're gonna delve more into what it was like growing up as such a late bloomer.
It looks like you also have explosionitis.
What? I developed pretty normally at first, but I started to notice some differences when I went to middle school. The other boys started getting bigger and taller, but I stayed fun-sized, as my mom would call it. I didn't really mind being a pipsqueak because it fit my vibe. I was the quiet kid who kept to himself and stayed under the radar drawing my silly little pictures. But the gap between me and the other boys only got worse as time went on, and this caused people to make comments and poke fun at me.
Wrong place, small fry. The elementary school is down the street. Get it? 'Cause he's small. Yeah, good one. Yeah, pipsqueak.
Well, at least I know what deodorant is, Derek. Welcome to Street Magic with Bryson. You there! Come here and I'll show you a magic trick!
What? No thanks, I'm just trying to get to work.
Trust me, you're gonna love this!
What's happening? Let me go!
Look into my eyes.
Oh, they actually are very striking eyes. They remind me of a stormy sea. I'm getting lost in them. Can't look away.
Uh-huh, now check this out.
Bryson, I think we should do it. I want you to have a pretty smile.
I think you should do it too, Bryson. I'll make a lot of money if you do.
Guys, my smile is fine.
Well, let's look at the x-rays. You have a pretty pronounced overbite that causes a lot of problems later in life. You should be grateful that your mom wants to pay to fix your teeth. You kind of have like a Bart Simpson lip going on, and we would want to get that fixed.
I guess pain really is beauty. It takes a lot of work to look this good. But at least it's over now.
Hey, by the way, I just scheduled your wisdom teeth removal surgery.
Wisdom wisdom teeth. Why do they call them wisdom teeth? Those teeth are obviously stupid idiots because they're going the wrong freaking way. Vestigial structures, useless body parts, are so stupid, and some of them actually hurt you. Your appendix can blow up and kill you for no reason. Your wisdom teeth sprout out of nowhere and ruin your other straight teeth. And don't even get me started on the tailbone. These things have no purpose. That's just bad character design. As many of you know, I was a very late bloomer. All the other kids got bigger and stronger, and I just didn't. This also caused me to lose my baby teeth very late. At 12 years old, I still had several baby teeth. Then one day, my mom took me to an orthodontist, and he gave her his spiel about how acting early can help a lot and blah blah blah. She was sold, and they glued some braces on me, while I still had baby teeth. Why are you putting braces on them? They're just gonna fall out. I guess lying to my mom, taking her money, and causing me a ton of physical pain without even fixing anything was worth getting paid. That dude was definitely lying through his teeth. Regardless, I wasn't old enough to unlock free will, so it wasn't up to me. So I was resigned to 2 years of braces scraping into my lips, food getting stuck in them all the time, and terrible pain every time the rubber bands got changed. Ow! Oh, and by the way, you can't eat popcorn for 2 years.
I used to watch the show, my parents got me the little wooden toys of the trains, and my dad even made me a train table to play with them on. Thomas, look out! There's a child on the tracks! Oh no, his brakes are broken! He can't stop! They are now dead. Thomas is tormented by his actions and turns himself in to the train authorities. Thomas is charged with 1 count of accidental manslaughter and will face 10 years in train prison. Honey, I think Bryson overheard you watching Forensic Files again.
Apparently, all dads have pre-programmed dialogue that they say in all applicable situations. Here are some of my dad's classic phrases.
All right, guys, come on, let's go. Don't rotate my chair. See the crispy part of the egg? That's what's known as a Maillard reaction. It's when food almost burns but not quite, which enhances the flavor and gives it a caramelized texture. Where's the remote? Where's my tools? Where's my phone? Where's my wife? Out of my way, I need to be right there. We don't need the rule book. We'll just learn as we play. Did you know that salt used to be used as a currency? Because it was the only way to preserve meat since they hadn't invented refrigerators yet. Don't touch the thermostat.
Boy, stop fighting or I'm calling your father. That's it. Honey?
Kids, listen to your mother.
As you can see, my dad has quite the ability to turn a phrase. But some quotes were so powerful that they only needed to be said once to become instant classics.
Yeah. All right, give me the phone. I'll talk to him. Brody, you need to stop peeing on your brother. How old's your son? He's 15.
But of course, we can't forget my favorite one.
Son of a
Back in my day, there were no video game tutorials on the internet. The only way I could learn what I needed was through rumors on the playground and hints from my brothers. So this information was very valuable. Then Brody taught me how to backwards long jump and travel at the speed of light. Yahoo! Yahoo! Drawbacks of being a superhero. Super speed is cool, but can you imagine if you tripped or ran into a wall? Whoa! I like super speed, but it just seems like there would be a lot of unintended consequences, like running through someone, a bug hitting your face at the speed of sound, dust getting in your eyes, and running so fast that your feet and legs get disintegrated. Or what if you had super strength and you accidentally punched so hard you destroyed the Earth? Oops. If superheroes were real, it would get all political and everyone would hate them. But like, what's a government of normal people gonna do against an unkillable god? We hate you, Omni-Man! Yeah!
My turn.
Welcome to Bull Shark, a fast-paced card game full of bluffing, tricking, and stealing.
My brother and I are sure that the quick-to-learn, hard-to-master gameplay of Bull will hook you right away.
Win the game by getting rid of all the cards in your hand or by collecting 3 pearls. Every time you bluff successfully, you get a pearl. But beware, getting caught in a bluff will force you to take all the cards in the pile.
There are many powerful action cards, but the strongest of all is the Vicious Bull a trap that punishes whoever reveals it. Pay attention to your friends as they play. Are they bluffing, telling the truth, or tricking you into revealing their trap?
1-5.
He's already got 2 pearls, so if he gets away with a lie, then he wins. But wait, he could be baiting me into revealing a bull shark, which would net him the last pearl. I gotta look for any tell in his facial expression. What's he thinking?
I should call her.
Here's why you should support it today. Simple rules, complex gameplay, variations of each number card, over 40 pieces of beautifully painted artwork, unique fun facts for all the featured species. Fast gameplay means you can play multiple rounds in one sitting, multiple paths to victory, quick turn of fortune.
I'm so glad we grabbed this game instead of food or water.
It's so fun you can hardly tell 4 weeks have passed since the shipwreck.
For real though, I will be eating one of you tonight.
Find the perfect balance of truth and bluffs to your friends in bullshit. Bullshit.
Let me take it from here, buddy. Find the perfect balance of truth and bluffs to fool your friends in Bullshark.
That's what I said.
Is it?
With gorgeous art, fast-paced yet complex gameplay, and great practice for your poker face, Bullshit is the perfect game to with your friends. Bullshit. The game with the bullshit. I'm saying bullshit. S-H.
Whoa, watch your tongue, buddy. There are children watching.
I'm not swearing. I'm saying bullshit. Why is it me but not you? Gah!
Let me wrap this up. Bullshark, the bluffing game with a bite. Pre-order now.
This is bullshit. Wait, no, wait.